Hey, Steve again. I haven't made a video in quite a while. My head's on crooked and I don't know what's wrong with that. Head's crooked, I guess. Anyway, I haven't made a video because I haven't really felt strongly either way. I've been gaining information and doing a lot of research in other areas. But now I've had enough. Enough's enough. Let's start with the NFL players and their protest of standing on taking a knee during the national anthem. Here are my feelings on this. It's just my perspective. My perspective has not been clouded by any other person or points of view. This is exactly how I feel about this issue. NFL players and owners alike, and even the commissioner, have just spit in the eye of every American veteran. Not only that, they have spit on the American people by not recognizing one flag and one anthem that serves to unify this nation. This flag has been produced in many ways, some that we forgot. How many sat down when the flag was dropped after 9/11? How much search and rescue went in recovering that flag? How many people died defending that flag? How many people wake up every morning to think things could be worse? I could be living in another country. To see America represents one thing. You do have a chance. In other countries, they don't give you that chance. Your life is dictated to you from the day you were born until the day you will die. In America, you can make yourself better. That's what that flag represents. So for every player, every owner, every coach, every person that supports this endeavor, I am done. I recently cleared off my back 40 back here. I only got 2 acres, but I call it back 40. Sunday we will be having a bonfire, and we will turn on NASCAR. Because see, these folks, whether you like the sport or not, they still raise their hand and they put it over their heart. Salute the flag. In NASCAR, you'll find individuals in that stand that they can actually quote you the words of the national anthem and sing it. Sometimes off key, but they can sing it. All our football paraphernalia from every NFL team that I've ever acquired throughout my life will be burned. And they will not be reordered. I will not watch an NFL football game ever again. I do not care what band-aid they put on this to make this right. Sometimes it's all you need to know from a bunch of individuals on how they feel. Yep, it's their right. But it's my right too not to pay for that ticket. A flag stands so you will know that you have an opportunity to be whatever you want to be in this land if you work hard and you prove yourself and you do what you're supposed to do. I think the minimal salary in the NFL is around $2 million. I don't know of anybody that works in a refinery that'll get $2 million a year just for playing a game. If we want to look at disparity between the races, let's look at the NFL football. I mean, why guys we got playing? Or let's look at basketball. Now I agree that everyone has talents who actually achieves those heights. Those challenges are developed from early as a child. But I am not going to support any organization that takes a knee in front of my flag. I have buddies that haven't made it, that didn't make it back, and they'll be rolling over in their grave, and they would be asking me, and I would have to answer them, why in the hell are you supporting them? And I don't have an answer to that. We talk about our monuments that are being removed right in front of us, and where do we draw the line? Now we've gotten to the point where people are considering removing Thomas Jefferson and Sam Houston. Sam Houston didn't even fight in the Civil War, but I don't know. You go figure that out. Explain that to me like I'm a 3-year-old. But the message by these statutes are sent, and sent in a different way. For some, these statutes these statutes are in place, and they stay in place because people remember, both from the North and the South, that people fought for a cause that they believed in, and they were willing to stand up to a fight. At that time, history would only prevail who was right and wrong. But it wasn't for us to decide at that time. Whether it was right, wrong, indifferent, however you feel, it doesn't make any difference because it's part of our history. A great man told me one time, if you forget your history, you're bound to repeat it. And there are others that follow along that light, and they will say, this reminds me of a place we don't want to go back to. It's a steady reminder to all that see these statutes and represent a time, a terrible time in our history. They serve as a purpose to remind us not to go back there again. We've already made that mistake. Let's not do it again. You can remove your statues, it's your right. But what's next? You're going to start burning books about the South? How about Tom Sawyer? Are we going to burn that next? Or anything you deem racial? We have a type of government for that. Communism, socialism, Nazis, who determine what we can use as tools to educate ourselves. I do not believe in removing the statues because I don't want to forget. What's next? We go ahead and sink the Arizona because we were fighting the Japanese. How far are you willing to take this? And does it make sense? Please tell me, please. For Black Americans, I will tell you this is true. You can go ahead and call me a racist, but listen to this point very, very clear. I don't know what the proper name is to call a Black American nowadays. It started with Negro, Black American, Afro-American. I don't know what offends you because it changes every other day. I don't know the words of what the dictionary says today, what I can and can't call you. I can't keep up with the laws. So what I do is I pick and I choose the words that I want to use to describe you. In the Marine Corps, it was a dark green and it was a light green. Light green. Dark green, light green. For me today, it's black and white. Because see, color doesn't matter because the fact is that a man will respect a man no matter what his color is, but just for him being a man. If you act any way different, I don't care what color you are, I'm not going to respect it. I think a lot of black individuals that I serve with will feel the same. It's not about your race, ladies and gentlemen. It's about what you represent as a man or as a woman. This is where the part to where the majority does the sign, and I'll go ahead and say it for you. Let's do that again. That's the part where I remember that I'm a veteran. So go ahead and laugh and scoff. Or, oh, is he going to go there? Yeah, go ahead. Because I served with probably one of the greatest generations that I can remember of individuals who put on a uniform and stood beside me, and it did not matter what color they were. It did not matter where they come from, how much their daddy had. It didn't matter anything about it. Is that one thing is that we were there to protect each other, and we believed in each other's abilities. We understood you're responsible in some way, shape, form, or facet about my life, and I am for yours. And I count on you to save my ass. It's like I'm going to save yours. But now we have a whole different generation who doesn't understand that fact. These gentlemen that I speak, ladies and gentlemen that I speak of, who are in the armed forces, they believed in themselves even when they couldn't believe in America. Even when America wrote them off, didn't give them a shit. And I'm talking about from every era, Vietnam especially. One thing they had was each other. I think maybe we could utilize that rule or that lesson. Maybe we start applying it as a rule because we're Americans. We stick beside each other. Before I joined the Corps, I was a part of a society that was, I would say, I will call racist because we didn't know any better. I will realize that fact at one time in the story. I don't know if it's true or not, but I woke up one morning and there was a cross burned in my yard. It was in my yard. I was told it was meant for some other people. I don't know. I don't know who it was meant for. I don't know who it was targeted to. I do not know. All I know is I woke up and there was a cross in my yard, and that day I made a decision. I'm not going to be like that. So I had to learn, stay educated, talk to other people from other white races, and not just yell at them. That's what we call a nation. Talking to one each other and understanding each other, so we can present a united front. When I joined the Corps, that all became different because there was nothing about no race, no way, no color, no difference. There was nothing except for one thing that we realized that our drill instructors drilled into our head every single day. We all bleed red. Period. Exclamation point. For those who think of the way I talk, the way I dress things, and I dip my snuff, wear what I want to wear, redneck, white trash, tracker, trailer trash. I've heard them all. I heard them all where it don't even bother me no more. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I don't let that kind of crap get to me. It's just your opinion. But I will tell you right now, and please tell me one NFL player that you know that's kneeling on that sideline that even stood up and said anything supportive about Harvey and the individuals who are actually going out and saving people. I know of one. His name was J.J. Watt, and he plays for the Texans. Started his own donation place where there were people were sending more money than they were sending at J.J. Watt instead of the Red Cross, and J.J. Watt's money's already got down there fast enough to the Red Cross. They're still going through the red tape. You know, trying to find out where the check's going. You know, make sure everybody gets their cut before it gets to where it belongs. But I would guarantee you there are certain times in our nation, if you'll just sit back and think, there are times where we've had moments till we were realizing that we're proud that we're Americans. Anybody remember the Olympics when we beat the Russians in hockey? How about 9/11, 9/11 again, when they saw that flag? Did it give people hope? Yes, it did. What about those times during any catastrophe in our country? We don't rely on other countries to come and save and help us out. We get up and we do it ourselves, each other. So for those of you who insist on calling me prejudiced, racial, whatever the heck you think about it is today, and whatever word we're using today, The snowflakes are calling me today. Shut up, get in a boat, and let's go save somebody. There was not one person that I actually drug out of that flood that the first thing I thought about what color they was. All I thought about was they need help. There was not one person during, and still to this day in Houston, everybody's rethinking about that racial crap. Because all over between both races, and all three are whatever races you want to determine you are in Houston. People are asking, you know what? They're really not like that. That goes for all sides of the aisle. So please hit me up on me being racist. Please talk about the way that I have an accent. Please, please come through to me and tell me. Because I just got on it. Where in the hell were you in Harvey? Where were you in Afghanistan and Iraq? For those of you who want to let Muslims in without a Vedic process, have you ever met one? Have you ever heard them speak? Have you ever read the Quran? I don't think so. So shut up until you know. We are dealing here, especially in my town, but all little towns all over, we are dealing with a crisis. We are dealing with the crisis of the elite, telling us what we can and we can't believe. Throw away the Constitution, throw away the Texas Constitution, throw away the First Amendment. We decide which you can actually exercise. The Constitution, Texas Constitution, they don't apply to us. We live in a special place. We've got a special place in this world because we're special. See how long that lasts. I pulled a lot of people down in Harvey that thought the same way. Next thing you know, they're begging for somebody to save their butt. So think of that, how you treat others. Today, as we move on, well, ever-present danger. We got nuclear weapons. We got other hurricanes. We got other disasters that are just waiting to happen. Some of them man-made and some of them by nature. We still stand divided. We have individuals who are training for a war now on computers. They buy a game and they bring it in, and guess what? They get 3 lives. They go back and get some medical attention, and all of a sudden they're back alive. Umpteen million scores they can make with 3 lives. You last long enough, and they'll give you another life. I think somebody should tell them that's not really the way it works. We got kids out there that actually play on these games so much they can't even run from here to there. And God forbid they actually get off the couch. We are developing a society that is weak. We are developing a society who is too busy to participate in their own government. Apathy runs deep in our country today. Meanwhile, people insist on protesting and counter-protesting against people that you know you're not going to change their minds, so why sit there and yell at them all damn day? Make a dang protest and then get your ass at home and do some work and actually contribute to the country. Or your city, or your county. Now, I know for some that's a tough road because of the fact you'll have that many obstacles. People who just don't want to do what's right. People who want to make up their own laws and determine what they can and can't do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you this right now, that everyone is held accountable to the law. You just got to keep digging deeper. Start digging, start finding out, see where it goes. I'm going to be surprised. The best way to start at the bottom. This country today, in my opinion, has been beat down so much by our politicians that we don't even know which way is right. A very smart man told me, I don't know if I'm Democrat or Republican. I'm done with that mess. That pretty much is in the majority right now. People don't know what they are, Republican or Democrat, and it's like they're starting to realize, you know, it doesn't make any difference which one you are. You ain't making a difference. People don't matter what you think. We have turned that power over to the powers that be because they know best for us. So for those who continue on the path of disrespecting our flag and the ones who fought it, and the individuals who go to work every day, the individuals who get involved in their city council, city meetings, and county, and that get involved in their state because they realize it's their duty. So your fate is in somebody else's hands. You gonna allow that? Recent history says, yeah, we will. We come up on elections. Some we've all, oh yeah, register to vote. Actually go down there, actually go down there and vote. How many people actually say what they actually think about an issue? And how many people actually decide to criticize somebody who is right because the fact is they have no answer, but you can't be right because you know what? You didn't word it the correct way. Or you're offending others. I don't know. In my upbringing, hell, I was offended every damn day and didn't know no better, I guess. In the Marine Corps, there was a lot of that. Army too. But we knew the fact is if we weren't being offended by an NCO or a senior member, they didn't like us very much and we weren't going to be around long. At least they were actually giving us enough time to learn. And they were taking an interest. So today, with nuclear weapons pointed at us, for all these disasters, for everything that's going on that causes us damage or could cause us damage to human life, these issues are not what's most important. The most important issue right now, it should be on everybody's mind, it should be everybody's lips, and everybody should be searching for answers, as we are our own worst enemy. We are going to destroy ourselves, just like Romans and other fallen great countries. There's many reasons why we compare to them. There's many reasons why we don't. But the fact of the matter is that we're going to be our own worst enemy and we're going to divide ourselves and we are going to fail because of the fact is we didn't speak up and we didn't stand up for our principles. We were more concerned with our reputation or what somebody may say about you than doing the right thing. Man said it better one time, said, you know what, doing the right thing ain't always doing the right thing. What does that mean? Well, that means, you know what? I'm doing the right thing even though people don't believe it's the right thing. But it all starts somewhere. Stand up. Say, I've had enough. I demand answers from my government. It's my right. Learn what your rights are and exercise them. If a right is not being exercised, that's the first one that's going to disappear. And you wake up 3 weeks later, you know, where the hell did that go? No, we can't do that again. They can't do that no more. Even though it breaks every damn law in the book. No, we don't do that here. So I'm calling bullshit. Because the history is what it is. We can't change it. But the future is something we can definitely put an input into. I'm not asking for martyrs. I'm not asking for change. And I ain't asking for people to get up on the stump. And I ain't asking for another Abraham Lincoln or Ronald Reagan. Or I'm not asking for another John F. Kennedy. What I'm asking for is just make a little difference. Put all the other crap aside. Somebody you think is racist, thinks you're racist or whatever, prove them you're not. Stand up and be proud of your principles and your morals, and always be willing to listen to others. We've got a big brain that the good Lord gave us. We only use about 10% of it. What if we sit back and listen and learn? How much more could we use? How much could we learn by just asking questions? But on the flip side of that coin, many won't ask the questions because they don't want to know. They don't want to know if this was going wrong right in front of their nose. America wants to believe. We can never stoop to that level. Look at your Main Street medium today and tell me there's some news. I looked at my cable bill the other day and I'm looking, I said, you know what, how much of this is going for advertisements? The same ones over and over. We got to start rethinking our priorities and rethinking the way we're doing things. Because right now we're not even staying stagnant, we're going backwards. Things we've accomplished in 100 years are going backwards. All the work that we've done for civil rights, all the work that we've done for equal rights, all the work that we've done is being pulled out right from underneath us. And yeah, we're going to have to learn it again. This time it's going to be for the hard way. It's going to be the hard way. So for those who don't like my video, hey, it is what it is. But I am sick and tired, and I've had enough. I'm like that parent with that little kid. Mama said they let you get away with something, but no, daddy won't. It's time for me to start being a daddy and not accepting bullshit. That we're fighting for? You're damn right. If you don't believe so, ask that man at Denny's or IHOP what happened to his arm. If you don't believe it's worth fighting for, look at that individual that graduated from college when everybody said he didn't have the money or didn't have the brains or he didn't have the capability to go to college. That's a battle won. Or how about your young son or daughter married 5 years in? They're supporting each other. And they're proud of what they got. This is real Americans. The ones the NFL players forgot. The one our government has forgot. Your local people, your government, your elites, they forgot them as well. You know why? It's easy. We never hear from them. In my city where I live, and in the county where I live, there are very many obstacles that we need to overcome that haven't been addressed in past administrations and such. And I use this as an example. You can go up to anywhere you want, to the Brookshires, to the grocery store, to anywhere around town, And everybody's got the same complaint over and over and over again. And they want it to be changed. They want it to get better. They want to fix these problems, because they happen every year or every 2 years when they get elected. And they're ticked and they're mad and they say, you know what, let's change it. Let's get these roads fixed. Let's get this water fixed. Let's get this done so we don't have to worry about it as a community. They are actually upset because they can't get any answers from the city council or the county. But then again, I look on the other side too. I said, you know what, they got a point, and I agree with them 100%. However, the fact is, I did the numbers on my research and I looked at, you know what, only 6.72% of them voted. Figure that shit out, huh? So the days of beating your chest and standing up are over. It's time for America to put up or shut up. If you defend something and you truly believe in it, make an effort to prove it is right, instead of just criticizing people for asking questions and doing the research and throwing it out there and saying, did I miss something? Stop being afraid of having your beliefs and morals and standards. And once you actually truly believe, have the conversation with somebody besides someone in your own family. Talk to people that it matters to. Maybe they'll think, oh, you know what, maybe he's right, or maybe he's wrong, or maybe he's a dummy, maybe he's stupid. I've been called them all. Hell, everybody knows I'm crazy and I'm insane. Shit, I've got papers from the army to prove that. See, it don't matter to me, because it doesn't take an American citizen very much time to see something that happens and look it up. Hell, we can do it online. Used to, we have to go to the library and look it up. If they didn't have it, we have to order it and get the book. We can do all this research online while we're on Twitter. Ask the questions, find the answers. And if you're being lied to, confront it. Because if we don't, they're going to confront it for us, and we ain't going to like the way it's turning out. So today I wake up with a new attitude. I've had enough. I'm incapable of accepting bullshit from now on. And I want to call you on it. No longer are the days to where I go through and I point out research and points and proof of things that have been done and are continuing being done, and waiting for people to get it, waiting for them to do their research. Because I've learned that they don't want to figure it out on their own, because they don't want to know. Well, you got one or two things. One of my gunnies told me this one time. He said, well, you got two choices. And I was like, well, what is that? And he said, well, you can get busy living or get busy dying. And the good Lord got a good situation going on when I die. He just ain't called me home yet. He ain't done with me yet. And maybe that's the reason why I'm still doing this. They're going to step it up a notch. But then again, I'm going to have to do it alone. That's a small issue, considering the fact is, you know what? Most of the time I got to fight a battle on my own. And fighting that battle on my own, I learned very, very much. And I learned how to make it easier next time. But I cannot sit back and watch the government or its people destroy itself without saying nothing. So my matters and my beliefs and those things, I don't even rely on them anymore, because nobody wants to hear it and nobody wants to listen. However, the fact is that, you know what? It's going to be right there in front of you. Every source and everything that I've got that'll tell you from at least 3 people that I'm right, or it's something you need to look into. Had enough. So it's either time for America to step up to the plate and take you 3 swings. Because if you don't, you're going to be end up sitting on the bench, not even have the opportunity to kneel down to a flag, because you won't have no choice.